Hi guys, I'm Mihir, and you know what? I'm here on a family vacation in Goa. But when I found out about the place that I'm in right now, I knew I had to come and check it out. Now, you guys know that I don't really drink alcohol, but when I found out that there is a distillery in India which is making some of the most incredible single malt whiskies, and I know that there are a whole bunch of you out there who are connoisseurs of single malt, who want to know probably a lot more about what single malt whiskies are. I thought, I got to come here, check out the place for myself, find out what is a single malt whiskey all about, why do people love it so much, and I've always been very fascinated by it because I know that some people, some of my relatives are very big fans of single malt. So when I found out that John Distillery is here in Goa, and they have the John Paul, I keep getting confused because I think about the Beatles, and whenever you think about the Beatles, you always say John and then you say Paul, but I remember Neha told me you got to say it the other way around. So I'm here at the Paul John Visitor Center, not John Paul, because if it was that, we'd probably be with the Beatles right now. So I'm here at the Paul John Visitor Center in Goa, and we're going to find out a little bit more about single malt whiskey. So come on in. I'm going to be first introducing you guys to Pankaj, who is the manager of the visitor center here, and I've got a whole bunch of questions for Pankaj. So if you're a big fan, if you're a connoisseur who already knows everything about single malt, you can enjoy the facility and watch what this distillery is all about while we go through. And for a lot of you like me who may not know a lot about single malt whiskies, I have a ton of questions and I'm hoping Pankaj can answer them.
So I would want to begin by talking about what whiskey is actually. Then we'll talk about the types of whiskey.
Right.
So whiskey is an alcoholic beverage which has been distilled, which has got a minimum of 40% ABV, and is made of mashed fermented grain.
What is ABV?
ABV is alcohol by volume.
Alcohol by volume.
Yeah.
Right.
And when I talk about mashed fermented grain, there are 4 types of grain that you can use to make your whiskey: barley, corn, rye, and wheat.
Okay.
It has to be mashed and fermented. And the final condition for the spirit to be known as a whiskey, it has to be matured in a wooden cask for a minimum of 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah. So now you have your whiskey.
Right.
Yeah. Distilled alcoholic beverage, 40% ABV, fermented mash grain, and a wooden cask for a minimum of 3 years.
Right.
Now let's come to the types of whiskey, which is single malt whiskey.
Right.
So single malt whiskey, to simplify it, you can actually strip it down to 3 different words. Single, meaning it's come from a single distillery.
Right.
And the grain that we're using is barley, but it's been malted or germinated.
Okay.
So that's why single malt and whiskey for the definition that I just mentioned.
Correct.
So it's a very simple thing. Single distillery, malted barley, and whiskey.
And the whiskey aspect of it. Correct.
Yes.
Right.
So that is your single malt whiskey.
Okay.
So here we'll be showing you the processes of making the whiskey.
Right.
So we'll just continue.
Let's go further down. So by the way, they've got. Again, I may not use the right technical terms. That's what we have Pankaj here for. So you call them expressions, right?
We call the expressions. So we have 3 flagship expressions: Brilliance Edited Oak. Then we have 2 select casks, Classic and Peated.
Right.
And then we do have limited editions from time to time. We had a Christmas edition last Christmas. We have a Kanya, which is the start of a collector's item that we're starting.
Right.
And then we're also working with other sherry cask finishes as well. Those will be our limited edition. So these are some of the awards that we won.
So that's a lot of awards.
Yeah, we won close about 250 awards till date.
250 awards, guys. This is pretty amazing. Which is exactly why, when I saw a little bit of these guys on Facebook, and when I saw that, I thought it was so fascinating. I had to come and check it out for myself to see the process, to see what happens, and like I said, get to know a little bit more about single malt. That's what. So we are headed down now where we were.
Distillery.
So we are headed down to the distillery, which is right up front. You know what, I'm going to take the camera now because I want you guys to see it from my perspective, and I'm going to get Pankaj to tell us a little bit more about what this distillery is all about. Now firstly, check this out. I love this beautiful looking signage that they have over here, the Paul John, the Great Indian Single Malt. And now we're headed out here?
Yeah.
Alright.
So, talking about this distillery,
Yeah.
this distillery was set up in the year 2008.
Okay.
So, we decided on this place as in the chairman, Mr. Paul John, was very particular about the resources, the water, and different other aspects that constitute to a great whiskey.
Right.
So, we zeroed in on Goa as a destination for the next best single malt.
Right.
So, this is where we set up the distillery in 2008.
Right.
And in 2012, we launched our whiskey in London.
2012.
12. and then officially we entered the Indian market in about 2016.
Okay, and it makes sense because you said a minimum of 3 years is required.
Exactly.
So if you started off in 2008, 2012 is when you would have launched your first whiskey. All right, let's have a look. So what are we looking at over here?
See here, we are entering the distillery. These are fermentation washbacks basically, which
Okay.
I'll come to the process a little later.
Okay.
So first I would want to show you where we get our grain from and where we store it.
Okay.
Basically, we do not grow the barley here.
Right.
So the barley is grown in the foothills of Himalayas.
Okay.
So barley, the weather conditions are more suitable for it in the northern part of India.
Okay.
Wherein you have states like Haryana, Rajasthan, Punjab, which grow a lot of barley.
Right.
And the barley that we use is a 6-row barley.
What is it called?
6-row barley.
6-row barley,
6-row
okay.
barley, as against the 2-row barley, which is used by most of the Scottish distilleries.
Okay.
So the basic difference of a 2-row barley and a 6-row barley, 2-row barley has got 2 shoots sticking out of it.
Okay.
6-row barley has got 6 shoots sticking out of it.
Okay.
The more important difference is 2-row barley has got higher sugar content in it.
Right.
Whereas 6-row barley, the husk is thicker.
Right.
So the sugar content is lesser, but we feel it's because of the extra thickness of the husk, it constitutes to the distinct flavor profile of our Paul John Whisky.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because you're in Goa, you have a specific taste that your single malt must be getting.
Exactly.
Which is because of all of the things that you guys use.
That's why if you were to ask me if I can compare it with any other whiskey, there's literally no other whiskey we can compare it
Correct.
with because it's made in Goa and the climatic conditions are totally different
Right.
if you were to compare it to any other place.
Awesome.
So that's right. So
Let's go
once we
ahead.
get the barley,
Right.
the malting process, so basically barley, as it is, has got starch.
Right.
For it to be converted into soluble sugar, the maltose, to do the malting process, you basically soak it in water, you let it germinate.
Right.
Alright, so here we do not grow the barley, you can see we do not have the field.
Right.
And we do not do the malting process also. It's, so to save time and to cut costs, it's easier for us to procure it from a third party.
Right.
Alright, so we get the finished product.
Right.
So here we do 2 types of whiskey, peated and unpeated whiskey.
Yeah.
So peated, are you familiar with
No, so that's what I wanted to ask you. That was my next question.
Great.
What is a peated whiskey?
So I'll talk about what peat is actually.
Right.
Peat is nothing but vegetation, like you have your moss, your heather grass and all of that. That is partially decomposed over thousands of years.
Right.
So it comes from the bog, a peaty bog,
Right.
wherein they make bricks out of it and use it to fuel the furnace.
Okay.
Yeah, so for the malting process, how is it done? Usually you soak the grain in water, you steep it, then you spread it on the floor, you allow it to sprout a little bit.
Right.
We don't want it to sprout completely, we
Correct.
stop it halfway. How do we stop it? We pass it over a furnace which has got hot air in it.
Right.
Alright, so when you pass hot air over it, the malting process stops and you get your malted barley.
Okay.
That's how you get your unpeated whiskey or the non-smoky flavored whiskeys.
Right.
So for peat, instead of the hot air, we use firewood coal and peat in the furnace, and then we kind of infuse the smoke into the barley.
Oh wow.
So
Okay.
I'll show you the samples where you get to smell the peated barley as well.
That'd be
That's
interesting.
where a lot of people have this misconception that peat is mixed into the barley, but no, peat is burnt and infused into the barley.
Oh, very cool. Very
Yeah.
cool. Alright, so where are we going now? What do we see
So
next?
that's all. So this is where the barley is stored. So this batch we got from Haryana.
Alright.
Yeah. So from there there's a small chute where the barley is spreading,
Okay.
and then it goes up for the processes to begin.
Okay.
Yeah. So follow me.
I know it's quite loud in here, guys,
Oh, yeah.
but you know what? I'm trying to get, and obviously this is an unplanned thing, so there are no microphones and stuff, but I'm hoping you guys can hear everything. And what we'll also do is, in case you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments of this video, and I'm sure we'll get Pankaj or somebody else. Whatever you could not hear and you were trying to hear something but you couldn't hear it properly, just ask those questions here in the comments, and we'll make sure you get the answers to that. What do you call the places where you get atta made? The
Rice mill.
Yeah.
The
So
mill,
where
farm
you get
mill.
where you get it, ground to get your atta. This is the kind of smell that you would get in one of those places. This is very distinct. This has got, like he said, the peated smell which is there. It's so distinct that you can make out. I can immediately say that whatever whiskey will be made out of this, whatever drink will be made out of this, will have this very distinct flavor in it, which this probably will not. So I'm actually intrigued to see how different they taste. What is the third one that you have?
So this one I'll show it to you later.
Okay.
This comes from the.
So we're going to see a third version, which is over there, but we'll see it later. All right.
So basically, once the barley comes up here,
So the barley comes up over here.
so this is literally known as the stone remover. Self-explanatory. meaning-
Self-explanatory.
Yeah, it acts like your old seal, basically.
Yeah, so basically,
Vibrating screen.
yeah. So the barley which comes in over here, whatever stones or any impurities are there,
Impurities,
they are taken out over here.
Then it goes 2 floors above for the milling process.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 floors above. So milling, when we send the barley for milling, we don't want it to be like powdered or too.
Sorry, say that again. It goes 2 floors above for the milling process.
For the milling process,
Right.
basically. Wherein when we send the barley for it to be milled or for it to be ground, we don't want it to be in a fine flour texture, because if it's in a flour like texture, it will clog up the mill and the hopper.
Right.
And we don't want it too coarse, because if it's too coarse, the water will just run through it without absorbing the sugars.
Right.
So we have a particular grist ratio that we maintain, which I will show it to you.
Okay. Oh, so that was the third thing. Okay.
So basically, just to give you an idea, this is what we are looking at. We want about 20% husk,
Right.
and about 10% flour, and the
Okay.
rest 70% the coarse grain or the grits.
Okay.
Overall, we get the grist ratio.
Nice.
So there are 3 benefits of going for the grist ratio. So one, of course, it's not going to clog up the mill.
Correct.
And second, we feel the 20% husk acts as a filter bed in the next process, which is mashing. Not
Right.
that we need it, but since we have it, we're going to utilize it.
Right.
And the third and the important reason is that with this ratio, we feel there are more fermentable sugars for us to play with.
Okay.
That's why the grist ratio is important. Usually, most of the distilleries have their own particular ratio, and this is ours. 70% coarse grain, 20% husk, 10% flour. That's the grist ratio.
Okay.
So milling is also known as gristing. That's the
Gristing.
important part.
And how do you spell it? G-R-I-S-T?
Grist.
So gristing is what this process is, and you see what happens at the end of that. Okay, now we are moving on.
Mill, and this is the hopper. So
Okay.
through which we get the grist.
The grist. So the grist comes down into this.
Yeah.
And-
so this is the lauter ton basically, where the next process, which is mashing, happens here.
Say that again. What is this called?
Lauter ton.
Okay.
Lauter ton.
Okay, so this is where the next process happens, and what happens over here?
So this is the process where mashing, where we introduce water.
Okay.
So there are 3 ingredients in single malt whiskey. There's water, there's barley, and yeast.
Okay.
So one, we've already got the barley.
Correct.
So we need to extract the sugar.
Correct.
How are we going to do it? We're going to let it dissolve in water. That's where the next process comes in, mashing.
So that's what's happening over here. That's the mashing process which is going to happen here. Let's have a look inside.
It's already there.
Oh wow, okay. There you go. You can have a look at that. So the grist which was made up there has come in over here and it's mixed with water, and you've got this mashed
Yeah.
product which has happened over here. All right. Brilliant.
This is the second process, mashing. So what is happening is once we have added the barley, we're going to add water
Right.
into it. And how much of water? We do it in 1:4 ratio.
Right.
For every part of 1 part of barley, we add 4 parts of water.
Okay.
And we do it in 4 different cycles, meaning at different temperatures.
Okay.
Alright, so the first, when we add water, the striking temperature is at about 62%.
Okay.
And then we give it about an hour's time.
Right.
Later we do the spudge.
Right.
And then every hour we add in a different cycle of water at different temperature.
Okay.
Alright. So what happens is at the end, because sugar you cannot extract it the way in any other way, but by letting it dissolve in water.
Okay.
And there are small, openings or slits at the bottom of the lauter tank. That's
Right.
where we are going to drain the water that has got the sugar dissolved in it.
Okay.
So that water is called the wort.
Okay.
W-O-R-T.
Wort. Okay.
Wort.
Okay.
So once we've drained it, we have no use of we have no use for the husk or the protein left.
Right.
So that is called the draft or the spent grain.
Okay. Spent grain.
Spent grain.
Right.
So that we get rid of it using that silo outside.
Okay.
And then later there are dairy
Then
farms who come in here and
Okay.
they buy it from us. They use it as cattle feed.
Cattle feed,
Cattle
okay.
feed.
So nothing gets wasted. Even the husks which remain over here will go over there and be used by dairy farmers for cattle feed. Very good.
Exactly.
Okay.
So at the end of it, once we collected the wort,
Right.
we're going to send it to the fermentation wash bags.
Right.
So we've collected the sugar.
Right.
How are we going to break the sugar into ethyl alcohol? Of course, by introducing yeast.
Yeast. Right. So now these are the yeast bags.
Fermentation
Oh,
wash
the
bags.
Okay. What are they called again?
Fermentation wash bags.
Okay. Fermentation wash bags. All right. Oh wow. Okay.
Smell this?
Oh yeah, man.
It's also known as the Distillers Beer.
This is called the Distillers Beer. It's got a very distinct smell again, and you can see that. You can see it bubbling over there. So this is the fermentation process that's happening out there. Check it out, guys. It's pretty interesting. It feels like a massive vat. Like imagine the biggest glass that you can have filled with beer, which is frothing on top. That's exactly what this kind of reminds me of. All right. So what's happening here? You said
these are 18,000 liter fermentation wash
18,000 liter. Okay.
But we fill only 10,500 liters of wort.
Okay.
And then we add 3 kilos of dry yeast to it.
Okay.
Okay. So the dry is mostly distillers yeast. The strain of it is the secret. Only the master distiller would know.
Of course.
So once we introduce the yeast to it, we let it be for about 3 to 4 days.
Right.
So at the end of it, the yeast would have broken the sugar into ethyl alcohol, negligible amounts of methyl alcohol. Then there is sulfur compounds, there's carbon dioxide and heat as well.
Right.
So at the end of the fermentation, 3 to 4 days, the percentage of alcohol present is at about 6 to 6.5.
Okay, so at the end of the fermentation process, it's about 6 to 6.5.
6.5.
And I saw that your single malts have a minimum of 44%.
Yeah.
46%.
46.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
So all of that will go to the distillation process. So at the end of it, just to ensure that the yeast is completely gotten rid of, we pass cool water in the jackets, water jackets around the wash bath.
Okay.
So once we do that, that ensures that the yeast cannot survive in that temperature.
Right.
We get rid of the yeast.
So the yeast is, how do you get rid of the yeast from this?
So that's what we...
so in this itself the process happens and...
Yeah.
Okay,
So
okay.
once the wort has been fermented, it's called the wash.
Wash.
That's why the wash bags.
Okay, okay.
So now that we've got the wort, we're going to distill it and get the spirit.
Okay. Man, look at that. Guys, you gotta check this out. This looks phenomenal. And I'm actually seeing it for the first time with you. I haven't seen this before. I just told him, I want to discover it with everybody else. And I'm just walking in, and this place looks like something out of an old science fiction movie, man. This is amazing. Okay, so what are we looking at now?
All right, great. So this is where we are going to distill the wash now.
Okay.
So basically, what is happening is we're using pot stills.
Okay.
Copper pot stills.
Okay.
So
that's what these are.
yeah, these are copper pot stills.
Copper pot.
Pot stills.
Pot stills.
Pot
Okay.
stills.
Right.
Traditionally, you can use column stills or pot stills to distill alcohol. But we are a traditionalist company, meaning whatever's been tried and tested in Scotland, we're following it. So in Scotland, most of the single malt distilleries are using 2 copper pot stills.
Okay.
So here we're using 2 copper pot stills. This is a wash still, 12,500 liter capacity, and this is a spirit still with a capacity of 6,000 liters, and this is the spirit safe.
Okay.
Alright. So basically, there are a few reasons why we use copper. 1, it's a good inductor of heat.
Right.
2, it's malleable.
Right.
3rd, and the most important reason is it's got a property to neutralize sulfur.
Okay.
So we do not want sulfur in our whiskies because that gives a very tangy, very weird taste.
Right.
So I told you the yeast breaks the sugar into sulfur compounds as well.
Correct.
That's why we try to get copper on our stills as much as we can.
Right.
So we want it to be in contact with water as much as possible.
Right.
So it takes away, neutralizes the sulfur in the wash.
Okay.
So those are the reasons why we go for sulfur.
Right.
And inside of the stills, we have stainless steel pipes through which we are adding pressurized steam. That is what is heating up the wash.
Okay.
Alright. So to get very technical, when the atmospheric pressure is at about 14.69 psi, the temperature is at about 78.5 degrees, the ethyl alcohol separates from the rest of the wash.
Okay.
So then it vaporizes, it condenses, it cools down and comes here as low wine.
Okay.
Low wine. So whatever comes out of the wash tin is low wine.
Okay.
It's full of impurities. We are not going to use it as it is. And
Right.
the ABV in it is at about 18 to 20%.
So that again to remind you guys,
Alcohol by volume.
alcohol by volume, you come to about 18 to 20%.
20%. Still not good enough for us. So what we do with the low wine, like I said, it's got impurities as well. So we send it to the spirit still now.
Right.
From wash still, we got the low wine, and the low wine we send it to the spirit
So
still.
from the wash still, you come to the low wine, and from there it's going to the spirit still.
Spirit still.
Okay.
So same thing happens, vaporizes, condenses, cools, and it comes here.
Right.
And this is where it gets exciting. I'm sure you would have heard of the term the head, heart, and the tails.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is where we make that decision of what goes into the cask or what we call the spirit. What do we call the spirit?
Right.
So the first batch that we get, it's still got a lot of impurities in it. So we are not going to use it as it is. So what happens? This is movable. This arm.
Right.
Basically, so we point it to the faint section.
Okay.
Okay,
The what?
right now we have made the cut, so I'm not going to waste that. So,
Right.
just visualize me moving
Yeah,
it to the
okay,
faint section.
right.
This is the faints, FEINTS.
Okay.
Veins or the foreshots are the head part of
Okay.
it, which has got impurities in it, and we're not going to use it as it is.
Right.
So what we do, we collect the veins and then we send it back again. That's
Okay.
later. So every distillery has got a benchmark for what makes the cut.
Right.
So here, for it to make the cut, the percentage of alcohol is between 55 and 75.
Okay.
And the best and the most unique part about us here is each and every operator has been trained by the master distiller to smell, to taste, and only then make the cut.
Wow.
So that's one of the unique things that we do here.
Very
And
cool.
Once the operator decides to make the cut, they just move the arm to the spirit section.
Right.
So once we've collected the spirit, towards the end of the distillation, the percentage of alcohol again is low. So we move it back to the pain section, which is the tails. So the head, the heart. The heart is the spirit, which is going to go into the cask.
Right.
And then the tails again, the
Very
pains
cool.
part of it.
Okay.
Alright, so all of this, would you like to smell it or see?
Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah. Wow. Did not expect to be hit by. Okay. This is the strongest smell I've had so far since we've come here, and so what exactly is this? Right? This is just as a spirit.
This
form,
is the
right?
spirit now.
Okay,
This is
so it
either
doesn't have any of the flavors that would ultimately go into.
color.
Oh wow! But very very strong smell. I wish again you guys could smell this. I'm gonna give this back to him. Interesting stuff.
So this is known as a new make spirit.
Okay.
Really good. For those who want to try it, you know where to find it. You
Now,
see, there's no color
right,
in the spirit. There are no flavors.
right.
So all of that comes from the cask.
And what's the level of alcohol now in this?
It should be about 60-62% right.
60-62% alcohol. Wow. Okay. All right. So where do we go from here?
From here we go to the cask cellars.
Okay.
So
Man, this is a fascinating process. There's so much that goes into the making of a whiskey and especially of a single malt. And you guys can see we are here now. Oh, there you go. So the spirit, the faints and low wine. So is this just like a sort of a demo kind of a thing?
no. This is actually a working.
So this is also a working.
spirit safe.
Okay.
So this is modeled after the Scottish spirit safe. If you were to look at a spirit safe in Scotland, you would see it's more or less like that.
But you have one that's operational over there. That's the one that we saw. And this is also operational.
But
Okay.
right now we are doing some maintenance work.
Oh, right now there's some maintenance work, which is why this is not operating. Oh, okay, so you got two more of the.
Yeah, we've got two sets of pot stills.
Oh, you got two sets of pot stills. So this is the second one, and the one that you saw before that is the first one. By the way, this looks beautiful, man. So this is, like you said, similar to something in Scotland, is it? Very cool. All right.
There they usually padlock it. That's why it's the latch it.
Aha. Okay, understood. So when that goes down.
So most of the Scottish spirit safes are padlocked.
Padlocked.
For custom.
Very cool. All right.
So,
All right. So we are. Okay, I'm going to give this here. We're going to check out. So where are we going to?
Above ground cask cellar. You can just walk through
This
it.
is the above ground cask cellar, and we're going to check this out. Look at that. Holy shit. That's a lot of barrels up here.
All in all, we have about 16,000 casks.
We've got 16,000 casks. So there's like a lot of casks here. These are all, I'm assuming, at various levels of maturation, so between 1 and 3 years kind of thing, right? Yeah.
Just walking through it. I'll take you to the underground cask cellar.
Okay.
So there we have some more finishing casks, some premium casks.
So these are, so as you can see, some of them have numbers written on them, 3 years, 5 years. I don't know what some of these things mean, but I'm assuming, like you said, we're going to go down to the underground cask cellar where you guys will get to see. So what are the casks that you have over there? Those are the special ones for your select cask whiskeys and things like that.
So we have maturation casks there. We have some finishing casks as well as we have some experimentation casks.
Okay. So why? How important is it? Because I keep hearing about this, the wood that is used to make the casks. Does that impart certain properties?
100%.
And you guys select what is the kind of wood that you
See,
guys?
most of the distillers across the globe, use American oak.
American
Oak. You're permitted to use oak
Okay.
to mature whiskeys.
Okay.
So there are three types of oak if you have to generally categorize it.
Right.
So you have your American oak, then you have your European oak, which consists of French or Spanish oak, then you have your Japanese.
Come here, you got to hear us. So there are three types of oaks that he talked about. One is the American oak, one is the
European oak,
and the third one
the
is?
Viznura, the Japanese oak.
Okay, so either American, Japanese or European. Alright, so now we're going to go to the underground cask cellar.
Most of the whiskey distillers prefer American oak to European or Japanese oak.
Okay.
Michael, brother, is a master distiller.
Hi, nice to meet you, Meister. It's such a fascinating place that you guys have here. I had to come and check it out for myself, and now we're going to go to your underground cask cellar and see a little bit more of what you guys are doing here. So this, by the way, if you guys didn't catch it, because there's a lot of sounds here, and unfortunately, like I said, I'm not carrying a microphone because this was an unplanned visit, but I had to share this with you. So please introduce him once again to everybody who's watching.
So he's Michael D'Souza. He's the master distiller of Paul John single malt whiskey. He's been with the company for more than 25 years and recipient of many awards as well.
Yeah, by the way, when we walked in a long time ago, because this video has been going on for a while, you saw they got hundreds of awards over here, and this is awesome, man. What you guys are doing here is phenomenal, and I just wanted to share that story with the people who are watching it right now. Well, let's go down. Let's check out the rest of it. Finally, this place is silent, and hopefully you'll be able to hear us a lot better. Like I said, if you have any questions based on some of the things that Pankaj spoke about or asked, just take a timestamp of the part that you did not hear or could not understand and ask him, and we'll make sure Pankaj answers those questions for you again. Alright, so this is immediately cooler, smells very fragrant. Oh wow, man. You guys, again, I wish a video could make you smell things and feel the kind of temperature differences that are there. I'm sure that technology will come someday, like 4D videos on Facebook. Facebook, think about that, and if you make that happen, I want a royalty. Alright, so we are here in the underground cask cellar.
So I think go to the other side.
Let's go to the
I
other
just
side.
want you to have a look at the place.
Man, how many cars do you have down here now?
Down here we have close to about 5,000 cars. Overall, in total we have about 16,000 cars.
Overall 16,000, about 5,000 down here. Alright.
So, so to come here, so these are all maturation cars.
Okay.
250 liter American oak ex-bourbon cask. When I say 250 liter, of course the capacity, the volume that it can contain is 250 liter.
Right.
When I said American oak, the wood that was used to make this cask is American oak.
Right.
And when I said ex-bourbon, these casks were used by a bourbon distiller before.
Okay.
Alright.
So, and is there a advantage of using casks that have been used by?
Oh yeah, definitely. So I'll just come to it. So
Yeah.
what happens is, like, see, you can see the name Jim Beam on it.
Yeah,
You can check
which
for
is
Jack
an
Daniels.
American bourbon distillery.
Exactly.
Right.
So it's not just us. Most of the
Oh yeah,
distilleries.
you
across
got
the
some
globe-
Jack Daniels
Exactly.
casks, and this is a Jim Beam
Jim
cask.
Beam. If you were to look around, you'll find others as well, like Heaven Hill and others.
Right.
So not just that, most of the distillers across the globe, they prefer ex-bourbon cask.
Okay.
So American oak, the word that I said
word,
is most
of course.
preferred again for whiskies, then ex-bourbon. Because if we were to talk about the bourbon maturation, so what they would do when they get a new cask, they would burn most of them, they would burn or char or toast it,
Right.
depending on the level of the burning,
Correct.
and then they would fill the new make spirit in it. And in US, there is a rule that if you matured your whiskey in a cask once, you cannot use that cask again. You
Okay.
cannot reuse that cask.
Okay.
So that's kind of a blessing for the rest of the world, because all of us can go and buy it
Correct.
from them.
Right.
So have you noticed, like, I know that you're not a drinker as such,
Right.
but are you familiar with the notes on bourbon and the scotch? Usually bourbon is much more sweet and much more softer and smoother.
Right.
So a lot of people who prefer scotch and who have been drinking scotch or single malt whiskey for a long time wouldn't prefer the bourbon taste.
Right.
So that's why we feel that they've done us a favor by taking away the overwhelming notes first.
Wow. Okay.
So that's why we go for the bourbon
casks.
cask as well.
Right.
So once we get it here, of course, we're not going to char it again, so
Correct.
we're just going to gently wash it away for all the remnants that could be.
Correct.
And then when we fill our Paul John whiskey, the
Right.
new make spirit for the first time,
Right.
we get P1. So you can see this is a P1 here.
Okay.
So it is Paul John 1. So the first fill. So first fill, when I talk about the first fill, it's not the first fill of bourbon there. I'm
Right.
talking about the first
First
fill
fill
of
of
a new make spirit
the Paul
here
John.
into the cask.
Correct.
So that's the first fill. This is the cask number,
Right.
and this is the month and the year of the fill, basically.
Okay. So that's January 2014.
Yeah, this
This
is.
has been maturing for almost 5 years.
Yeah, no, almost 5. Yeah, more than 5
Little
years,
more than
right?
5 years, yeah,
So,
yeah, within 5
yeah, correct.
Right.
So the minimum maturation that we do is about 5 to 6 years. You've heard
Okay.
of the flagship. I spoke about the flagship
Correct.
expressions, Brilliance, Heritage Gold.
Right.
When I talk about them, they are matured for a minimum of 5
5
years.
years.
Here, 5 years. Yeah.
Nice.
So, and coming to the angel share part of it. So the amount of alcohol that we lose to evaporation every year is known as angel share.
Okay.
So traditionally in Scotland it's at about 2%, but here, you want to take any wild guesses? What is the angel share?
Would it be a little more?
100%.
Yeah, because it's
yeah.
warmer over
True,
here,
true,
and
true.
in Scotland it will
Correct.
be much cooler.
So,
I'd say if it's 2% there, I'd guess about 12 here. 10.
alright, okay, not bad
Yeah.
actually. Yeah, I would say 8 to 10.
8 to
So
10.
Good,
Yeah,
good.
not bad.
Not bad.
So see, I may not know alcohol, but I know basics of science, and I just gave a logical guess, and because it can't be too much, because if it's too much, then it wouldn't make sense for you to
Correct,
make the whiskey here. But
Exactly.
yeah, okay, so 10%,
So,
8 to
yeah,
10%.
so almost say between 8 to 10%. So
Yeah.
that means if you're maturing our whiskies for a minimum of 5 years, you
Right.
can imagine how much are we losing every year.
Correct.
So that's why we price it accordingly. So the more we age it, the more loss that we
You
have, the
have
more
more
angel
risk.
share there is. So
Correct.
that's why we price it accordingly.
Right.
And here, the other thing is that even though we lose the whiskey faster, the maturation rate is also fast.
Correct,
So-
because of the temperature again.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Because of the terror, the climatic conditions, and
correct.
everything. So we feel in 1 year of maturation in India or in Goa is equivalent to 4 to 5 years in Scotland.
Wow, so you're basically getting almost a 20-year-old matured whiskey in a sense. I mean, of course, it's 5 years here, but like you said, if it's almost 4 times that in compared to Scotland, yeah, you're getting a really, really matured whiskey, and I think that's something that whiskey connoisseurs are always looking for, right?
yeah,
Like-
yeah. And that's the reason we do not mention the age of whiskey on the bottle. If
Right.
you've seen bottles,
They generally write 8 years, 6 years,
If you
4
see
years.
the other bottles, yeah.
Other bottles, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We do not mention age on any of our bottles because it would be unfair,
Correct.
So just to give you an example, if we were to see a 10-year-old Scotch, priced at 3,000,
Right.
and we see a 5-year-old Indian single malt priced at 3,000, both of us, it's our tendency to think that the 10-year-old Scotch is
Would
more
be
mature.
better, yeah.
But in actuality, the 5-year-old single malt is akin to a 15 or a 20-year-old Scotch.
That's brilliant.
So that's the reason we do not mention the age, and it's literally known as NAS,
Very
no
good.
age statement.
Very good, very good. Okay.
So this is about the cask and the maturation. So I want to talk about where it gets the color and the flavors from. So
Yeah.
like I said, when you char it, so there is simple sugars present in the American oak as well, the hemicellulose. So when you kind of char it, it's caramelized and all of that. So in general, spares all the science stuff. So in general, it's the wood and the oak that gives the color to the whiskey. It's the
Okay.
esters and the aldehydes. So
Okay.
they give the flavors. They impart the flavors to our whiskey.
Okay.
All right.
So it's the wood which is actually giving. So what we
Exactly.
saw upstairs, the spirit was pretty much colorless. That's what's going to be coming in over here.
In over here. The
And
new mix spirit
the new
comes
mix.
into the cask.
Right.
And then at the end of maturation, you have a beautiful single malt whiskey.
Very cool. Very cool.
Okay. So these are maturation casks, and a couple of things that I would want to talk about our whiskies. We do not add color here. So you have other whiskies who add color through E150A. We do not add color. So whatever you see is all natural. And also we do not chill filter our whiskies.
Okay.
So if it's mentioned as non-chill filtered.
Yeah. So I saw that was written on
Exactly.
your bottles. I was
True,
going to
true,
ask you,
true.
what does that mean?
So what do you do when you chill filter a whiskey? Is basically from the cask to the bottle. Between that, you reduce the temperature of the whiskeys.
Okay.
So when you do that, it creates a lot of sedimentation, a lot of chemical compounds are solidified.
Okay.
So basically, what they do is they take it all away, and then with crystal clear whiskey, they bottle it.
Right.
Here we are not going to do that. So what happens is like when we don't chill filter it, the alcohol level is about ours is 46%. So we actually do not have to chill filter it.
Correct.
So what happens when you chill filter it? There are so many compounds lost, and the experts who feel that there's a change in flavor profile
Oh,
of
okay.
what you would have tasted in the cask to what
To
you
what
would
you will
taste
get.
in the bottle.
Which is why your bottles say
non-chill filtered, because what you would have tasted in the cask
is what you're going to get in the bottle. as well.
bottle.
Wow, very
So that's why we talk about ours being non-chill.
These
filtered.
were the questions that I was going to ask him in any case, because if you look at a bottle, there are so many things that are written on it. And as an amateur or as somebody who's not done a lot of research, you might look at a bottle or you might look at their 5 bottles and wonder what's different from this one to this one. So now you know what a peated whiskey is. You know what the second one has a little bit of peat
with a hint of
peat. The Brilliance one, which is one of their flagship whiskeys, has no peat in it, and all of them have that what is it called, non-chill filter written on it. So now you know what those various terms on the sticker on their bottles mean. All right, let's go to the next part.
So here we have sherry butts. So
Okay.
any barrel that has got a 500 liter volume capacity is known as butt.
Okay.
So these butts were used to mature Oloroso. So you know what sherry is, right?
Yeah,
Any
of
wine,
course.
yeah. So any wine that's made in the Jerez region in Spain is wine. Some of the prominent ones are Oloroso,
Right.
Pedro Jimenez. So these butts are from Oloroso,
Okay.
and these butts are from Pedro Jimenez.
Okay.
So we use them, on limited editions and as finishing casks.
Nice.
So the master distiller, just to give you an example, okay, let me talk about Christmas edition. So
Right.
Christmas edition, how the master distiller, created it was basically he had, peated whiskey,
Right.
matured in ex-bourbon cask American oak for about 4 years, and then he had unpeated whiskey, matured in ex-bourbon for 4 more years. He married both of them and put them in an Oloroso cask for about Oloroso butt for 4 more years.
Wow,
So
okay.
that was to give it a finish, the Oloroso. So you want to give it like a woody or a dry finish, you use the Oloroso, and
Okay.
if you want to give it a fruity or a sweet finish, you use the PX butt,
Okay, wow.
basically.
So that means that whiskey was matured for 8 years.
8 years, Christmas
Wow, man.
edition, yeah.
Christmas edition. So your first Christmas edition must have happened in 2016.
No,
Or
that was the
2017.
last batch actually.
Or
Yeah,
2018.
2000, yeah.
Okay.
2018, yeah.
Wow, man, that's phenomenal. Think about the amount of time and effort. By the way, guys, this makes me come to a very important point. Think about the amount of time it takes for one bottle of single malt to be made for you guys. Please don't drink it all in one go. Savor it, enjoy it. It's not about getting drunk on alcohol. It's about enjoying what all of these master distillers and these phenomenal, distilleries across the world are making for you. So enjoy it like the beautiful liquid gold that it looks like. Have a little bit of it, enjoy it with somebody that you really love, or put on a nice LP, like guys, how I like to listen to my music. Put on an LP and have a peg of your favorite single malt, and hopefully maybe give these guys a shot very soon. And maybe out of your favorite, if you are a single malt connoisseur, this could be your favorite single malt very soon. And if you're not, this could be your first single malt, and you'd realize why people all across the world, connoisseurs all across the world, prefer single malts compared to other alcohols that are out there. Am I right? Most of the stuff that I said. I mean, I'm bringing a lot of this stuff because I don't drink, but maybe today I'm going to at least definitely give it a try and just see what makes a single malt this exquisite. Why is it that people all across the world spend a lot of money and a lot of time experiencing what single malts are? Alright, I got to give a big shout out to my friend out there who works here at the Paul John Visitor Center. I joked about it earlier, but now see, I remembered how to remember Paul John and not say John Paul, because it's not the Beatles. But yes, the Paul John Visitor Center. And thank you for holding the camera. We don't have my team here, we don't have my microphones here, but I'm hoping that you enjoy this video nevertheless. Okay, where are we going now?
So these are the finishing casks.
Okay.
Now I'll show you some experimentation casks we have.
Okay.
So I'm happy to tell you we're one of the first Indian distilleries to experiment with virgin oak casks.
Okay.
So filled them in the year 2016. So these are new casks, American oak. So we've filled our new mix period in.
Okay.
And we're here to see how it works out. All of us are really excited.
So we'll find out in about 2020, I guess.
Yeah, 2020, 2021. If you
21.
see a Paul John and if it says from virgin oak, you know where it came from.
That's amazing.
These
So
casks.
these are the ones which have not been used by bourbon company. These are
Oh no! These are not ex-bourbon. These are new
these
casks.
are new casks, and there's going to be something interesting. So if you're a Paul John, I'm gonna have to see. This is proof to you guys, and I'm such a massive Beatles fan. In fact, my wife was telling me about this. Don't keep calling it John Paul. I know you keep thinking of John Lennon and Paul McCartney, but this is the other way around. So in 2021, this is something that you guys, single malt fans, can look forward to. Special whiskeys that are being made right here in India. This is going to be interesting, man. Maybe in 2021 I'll come back here again and we'll check out what's happened with these.
See that.
We should do that. Alright, that's pretty cool.
Great. So, likewise, we have many other experimentation casks, which I'm not at the liberty at the moment to say
cool.
on camera. So
Secrets all around.
this concludes the tour part of it.
Alright.
So now I want to take you to the tasting room and try some of our whiskeys.
Let's do that. Let's pause that video. The pause button. So we are headed to the part where I can actually taste their single malts, but I heard something really interesting. I want to share this with you. Tell me about this artwork that I'm seeing here.
So basically this is to depict the angels in here. So I told you there's angels here, and since we are in an underground cask cellar, there's a lot of angels here.
Yeah.
So this is a beautiful painting done by Miss Bianca. In fact, she's done all of our other paintings here as well, what you see in the visitor center.
Oh, okay. So hey, shout out to Bianca, who is a local Goan painter, and check this out. She's made this as well. Pretty cool stuff. Guys, if you come to Goa, while you can go and enjoy yourself on the beaches and everything, you guys should come and check this place out. This is amazing. Is that painting also by her?
Yeah.
Oh wow, look at that. Really cool. And now, check this out. Come on in, start. You might have random clips and stuff over here because I decided instead of waiting to go back to Mumbai doing a whole bunch of editing, I wanted to make this as seamless as possible. So we are now in the tasting room at Paul John Whisky Center. So we're right this time. And what do you want to taste now?
Yeah, where would you like it?
Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it here. Come here. Come here. So let's have a look at stuff here. So guys, let me preface this by saying that again, I'm not really trying too many single malts. It's actually going to be one of my first tastings of single malts properly. I think I've tasted a couple of Glenfiddich and a couple of other ones that people know of, the regular names that everybody knows of. I've tasted those. This is the first time I'm going to be tasting the great Indian single malt. You know what? Come here. I want to show people this little tasting board which you have over here as well. I'm going to take the camera again. Check this out. How beautiful is this? Absolutely stunning. The Great Indian Single Malt, Paul John Indian Single Malt Whiskey. All right, let's go ahead. Let's try it out.
So we'll start off with the flagship, Brilliance.
That's Brilliance, edited, and bold. So these are your three flagship whiskies.
Flagship, exactly.
Right?
And the way it is being curated by the master distiller is keeping in mind somebody who's never had single malt whiskey. So that's why we want to introduce single malt whiskey through Brilliance. So pretty easy, soft and smooth on the nose and the palate as well.
Correct.
Then we want you to introduce to peat, but not like right on your face kind of a peat.
Correct.
So with a hint of peat, just for you to say hi, hello, that's it.
Correct.
Not to get over friendly with it.
Right.
So then we get into bold, where we want you to experience a peaty whiskey.
Right.
So that's how we want to start off with. So the flagship. And have you been to a tasting before? Whiskey?
No, I haven't. Go for it. Yeah.
So there are a few things that you look for in whiskey.
Right.
First is, of course, the color of the whiskey after I pour. So these are your Glencairn glasses.
Right.
These are traditional glasses for nosing and for tasting. So
correct.
Nosing literally means put your
smelling
nose exactly.
Right.
So that's what you do. So there are three things that you look for. After the color of the whiskey and the body, the viscosity of the whiskey that you've checked, there are three things that you look for. One is the nose.
Right.
What are the notes that compare, that you can find in the whiskey on
right.
the nose.
Right.
Then what is it on the palate, you compare. So it's taken us so many years, like you said it yourself downstairs. So there's a lot of work that has gone in. There's a lot of chemical reactions that have happened, and there's so many flavors in it. It's for you to find them. It's for you to savor them. And it's not just about drinking it. It's about savoring the whiskey.
Absolutely, yeah.
So you compare the notes that you get on the nose, then you compare it with the notes that you get on the palate, then you find out what are the notes you get when you finish the drink, the finish of it. So those are the things that you look for. And if it's your first drink of the day, since you're a teetotaler, it must be your first drink in a lot of days.
Yes.
Yes. So obviously it'll burn. So just take the first sip,
a small one,
rinse your mouth so that it's acclimatized to the whiskey.
Okay, let's try it out.
Put in small sips so it opens up every time.
Sounds good.
So perfect. So we'll start off with Brilliance then.
Okay.
Brilliance.
Okay. Let's have a look. You know what? This is going to be interesting. I'm going to have to give the camera to Pankaj because This is a new experience for me. Okay, wow. Really, really nice. And let's swirl it around a bit. What do we look at? Oh, so is this something that... What do you look
the
at?
viscosity of it.
The viscosity
you know
of
how well bodied it is. First, you can check for the color of it. You can just slightly dip it, and you can see. The darker it is, the older.
Okay.
The darker the whiskey, the older it is actually. Then what is it on the nose?
Because it's for a longer time in the
Exactly.
cask, and therefore it imparts more of the coloring.
True.
And now,
there is on the nose. What are the notes that you're getting? Are you getting some vanilla?
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I can't make out, but yeah, I mean, like you said, one of the if you smell vanilla pods, that's the kind
Exactly.
of that's the kind of
True.
fragrance that you get for sure.
So, we'll make it interesting. Why don't you tell me the notes?
The kind of scent that you get when you walk in a forest as well. The kind of earthy smell that you get, like a little bit of a when rain falls in a forest, you get that beautiful earthy smell. That, and like I said, that vanilla smell. Now that you put the word vanilla in my mind, that's definitely something that's on my mind. Now, can I taste?
Sure, please.
Taste. Oh wow!
Chew on it, rinse them out.
Wow. Okay, guys, this is interesting. So this is the first proper sip of a single malt that I've had. It's spicy. That's an interesting. I didn't think I'd say the word. Is spicy a word that is often used?
Yeah. See, there is a dash of spice. I would say a dash of cinnamon in the finish.
Oh yeah.
Did you get that?
I got that.
That was like
because
a
the
dash
first
of
time
cinnamon.
I just had a very tiny sip, but then the second time when I took a little bit more, I could feel that there is that spice, and there's this beautiful warmth that I can feel going down my throat. And wow, I'm very surprised by this. So I'll tell you what, as somebody who doesn't drink alcohol, one of the things that I always tell people who drink is it tastes like medicine. Why would you want to have something that tastes like medicine? And if you tell me, if you have enough, you'll get used to it. Why would you want to get used to having something like cough syrup? This, ladies and gentlemen, is nothing like medicine. This is genuinely tasty. I have never tasted alcohol like this, because beer tastes like shit, as does most other whiskeys that I've ever smelled. Because even the smell makes you feel like, why would you want to have something that tastes so weird and bitter? But this is not anything like that, and I'm not just saying it because I'm sitting in front of Pankaj here. If it was bad, I would have told you. You would have seen it on my face that I didn't like it. But this was really interesting, to the point that I actually finished that little sip that was given to me. That was interesting. So that was brilliance. We just had a little bit of brilliance right now. This is non-peated whiskey. And as it says, unpeated single malt whiskey, non-chill filtered. Now you know what all those terms mean. This is the second one that
this
we're
is
going to have.
edited now.
Okay,
it's been rated the most.
This is
the Jim Murray Whiskey Bible. So, edited. Like I said, we want to introduce you to Pete.
Okay.
Just want you to say hello to it.
Alright, so let's get the camera back there. Okay, let's. So slightly similar fragrances to what we got. I mean, the smell, the nose, as you call it, is quite similar to this, but it's a little milder than this somehow. I don't know how I feel that, but maybe it's because I've just had that whiff in my nose right now. Okay, let's have a look at check this out, guys. It looks really beautiful. Lovely golden color. And okay, I'm going to taste this now. My first hint of peat whiskey. This is the edited one which you have here. And I have a bad feeling, boys and girls. I have a very bad feeling that I'm going to start liking these things, and I'm going to have lesser comic books and action figures in my life, because I might very much, I might land up spending a little bit of my time pass money on something which is as beautiful as this. This is so much nicer. It was not as spicy as this one. felt a lot milder and tastier, if I could say that word. Because
So what were some of the notes that you get? Did you get some mocha? Oh,
sorry,
it's all right.
wait, I had a quick sip. Did not expect it to go down. Okay, so I have a little bit of water to wash this down. I'm going to have a sip of water. I'm going to continue this video right now because I want you to get a complete unedited feel of everything that's going on my face, on the face of somebody who's not used to having.
Touche. While you're having edited, you don't want to edit it.
Yeah, you don't want to edit anything while I'm having edited. Okay, so let me tell you what I feel about this. Oh yeah, man. It's a beautiful, it's a very mild, so I don't know what peat is supposed to taste like, but if this is what it's supposed to taste like, I like it because it wasn't as spicy, like I said, as this one was.
True.
And it went down a lot smoother than Brilliance, and I actually enjoyed the taste of this a lot more, and I thought it was very, very, very fascinating. And I'm now looking forward to trying out what a completely peated. So this is your peated single malt whiskey, non-chill filtered. Now again, you know what all the terms mean, and I'm looking forward to tasting that. I'm going to take the camera back from Pankaj, and
if you're somebody who likes to smoke and you would want to pair your cigars with a whiskey, I would suggest this is a whiskey to go to.
Okay. Again, nothing that I know about, but if you guys smoke cigars, this is the whiskey that you want to go with because it's got the most smoky flavor, as Pankaj said. I'm not tasted it yet, but here's my taste test of this. Ooh, again, what a beautiful smell. Okay, so when we were up there and we smelled the barley which was peated, I told you that there was a very distinct smell, and it was a very likable smell. I wish there were technical terms or factual terms in which I could describe the smell to you. You got to come here and experience it. You got to come to the Paul John Visitor Center, experience it, go for a tasting, and come for the tasting, go for the entire tour, and understand what these different smells, temperatures, and feelings are that I'm feeling right now. Alright, so it's time now. Check this out. This is what the peated whiskey looks like. Oh wow! Oh man! Oh man! Okay, this is sweeter. I don't know if you feel. Okay, this is how I feel. Okay, and I'm sure everybody when they drink it, they probably have their own feelings about what the whiskey tastes like. But to me, this felt like this had a little bit of sweetness, which I did not feel. Okay, this kind of had a little bit of that sweetness. It must be the taste of the peat which is there. For people who are hardcore connoisseurs of single malt, you might think my observations are stupid, but hey, these are my observations, and I'm entitled to my observations. Maybe if I have it enough, I'll be able to make out the exact distinguishing points between these whiskies. But my first observations were that I felt that this was the spiciest of the lot. This was the smoothest, and I felt like the sweetest of the lot. But I think this was the most interesting for me out of all three of them because it has the feeling of that sweetness or that flavor, that smokiness which the peat brings to the whiskey. But it was a very, very interesting and unique taste for me because again, this is so. You know what? I'm so happy that the first time I've had single malt, it has happened in a distillery which is making phenomenal single malt, and super proud to say that this is Indian single malt, Paul John single malt. Good Lord, I'm going to get it right at the end of the day. But yes, Paul John's Indian single malt whiskey. And you know what? There are two more that I'm actually going to be trying out right now. Let's just go for it right now. This is going to be. I wish there was a way to actually speed this up for you guys, but I'm going to show you. So what are the two that we're trying out? Oh, these are your select casks, and these have got 55.5 and 55.2% alcohol content, while these had 45.8, 46, and 46%. All right, let's try this out.
Great. So this is classic. So it's been aged for 6 to 7 years.
Okay.
Bottled at 55. I would say neo cask strength. So you're not going to find them in any other state apart from Goa.
Okay.
Because we are not allowed to sell whiskey above 50% ABV in any other state apart from Goa. So
Okay.
if you want to try any of these,
It'll only happen in Goa.
All right, bro. So we'll pour you. So this is unpeated, the classic. So if you like the finish and the brilliance, you would like it more here.
Okay.
Classic.
So this is the classic, and I'm getting it back here. Okay, check this out, guys. This is evidently darker than the brilliance one that we'd seen. It is, right? It's a little darker, at least than the brilliance one. There you go. You can see that. So here it is. This is classic, and this is brilliance. Both of these are their unpeated whiskies, and this one has got the classic select cask, and this is the flagship brilliance one. So let me taste this now. Oh wow. It's got that spiciness coming back, and cinnamon, star anise. I mean that's another. When you have what could I say? Biryani mein kabhi you see that star anise thing, and if you land up accidentally biting a bit of it and you get that burst of spice in your mouth, that's what this feels like when you have your first sip. And especially if you're not expecting that, that's that first hit that you get, that burst of spices. But it's very enjoyable. I mean, genuinely enjoyable. And I'm gonna finish this off. I'm not gonna get drunk on like this little quantity, but this is very, very interesting for me. Oh wow. So now I had a slightly larger sip than the first one, and as it went down, again that beautiful warmth. And it's a very enjoyable warmth. I mean, it's a very happy feeling for me to tell you that this does not taste like that weird bitter alcohol that you probably land up having at most parties or whatever. This is the stuff that, like I said, you want to watch an old classic movie with, or you want to listen to your favorite album on an LP with, or sit with some really old friends, reminisce about old memories, and enjoy and really, really savor the taste of this. This is not something that you want to gulp down. This is something that you want to taste little by little, enjoying every little bit of that, the warmth that goes down, the feelings that you would, and also I guess share thoughts and memories with either your music or your movies or a dear close friend. Now I'm going to try out the final one, which is the peated select cask, which is again single malt whiskey, non-chill, filtered, and this, I think, like I said, is the one with the highest alcohol content, 55.5. All right, and I'm going to let him pour right in front of you guys. That's enough. That's a lot. All right. Oh. So you know what? Despite me not being a single malt guy so far, I think I like the peated whiskies more. Strangely enough, more than the non-peated ones. I thought the peated ones were really, really interesting. Oof! It's got a very nice smell again, and let's taste it. Wait, I gotta have a little more. Wow. So it's a strong flavor. It's a strong fragrance. It's a strong flavor, and I think now I can really I think I felt that in the bold one which we saw a little while ago, which was their peated flagship variant, and this is their select cask variant. I think both bold and the peated select cask have a very strong flavor, and if you like the peated flavor, you definitely like this. And I'm going to finish this off because it is really, really tasty. Less spicy compared to, for me, again, my thoughts, and maybe the words that I'm using are not right, but I'm talking about the flavor profiles in my mind. But this, if I feel, is spicy. This is relatively a little lesser spicier than this, and a little sweeter. Again, I don't know why I feel this is sweeter. Maybe you guys will feel it's not. But you know what? Do that. Come here to the Paul John Visitor Center. Have a tour of the place. Taste these whiskies. Come back to my video. Write to me in the comments. Tell me what you felt about the flavors over here. And I gotta say something, guys. This is the first time I've been to a single malt distillery. It's been an absolutely phenomenal experience. I've found out so much more about single malt whiskies. My father-in-law loves single malt whiskies. Baba, this video is very specially for you. And for all you other guys out there who are connoisseurs of single malt whiskies, I kind of get where you guys are at, why you love what you love so much. And this is something that I definitely recommend to anybody who's coming to Goa. Yes, there are water sports. Yes, there are beaches. There is a casino out there somewhere, and you can spend a lot of time doing a lot of fun things. But this is something that's an incredible, unique experience, and it's something that you definitely do not want to miss. I think they are right when they say that this is a great Indian single malt, possibly on par with. I have no way of comparing it with the whiskies in the world, but I'm willing to say that there are going to be very few whiskies that are going to be able to match what these guys are doing out here. If I'm wrong, prove it to me in the comments. Come here and talk to me and tell me what you feel about these whiskies. But with that, and having tasted my first 5 single malts in one day, so once again, the names are Brilliance, Edited, Bold. I think the Edited was my favorite, and the Select Cask Classic and Peated. This is time for me to say thank you to Pankaj, thank you to everybody here at the Paul John Visitor Center, and I would love to know what you guys think about what I've done with this video and with this experience that I've had. If you have any questions, like I said multiple times throughout this video, feel free to ask them in the comment section. I'll make sure our friends at the Paul John Visitor Center give you your answers, and I'll in fact make sure that Pankaj himself answers whatever you guys want to know. And with that, this is time for me to say bye-bye. I'll see you guys very soon.